Friends and family, we are gathered here today to witness the imminent demise of a traditional communication. Life lessons are dying by the hands of today's technology. While working in the technology field for the past 13 years, I've seen the repercussions of our youth's dependency on the internet, smartphones, iPads, email, texting, and social networks. Brothers and sisters, human interaction and face-to-face communication are declining at a most rapid pace. If things do not change, I fear these experiences will be lost and consumed by the ignorance of technology and be lifted upwards to the everlasting heavens. Now, wouldn't that be a great eulogy and the start of the eulogy for what's going on with today's technology? The dependent use of social technology is causing young Americans to become ignorant of the basics of human physical interaction. One technology that has been affecting human interaction for a while is the internet. David Greenfield, PhD and the founder of the Center for Internet Studies, quoted, "The internet is unlike anything we've seen before. It is a socially connecting device that's socially isolating at the same time." And according to a Stanford University study in 2000, led by Professor Norman Nye, it was reported that the internet was creating a broad new wave of social isolation. He quoted, "The more hours people use the internet, the less time they spend with human beings." It's been 13 years since that study, so you can probably estimate how much isolation there's going on in the world today. Other technologies that are having a major effect on physical interaction are smartphones, iPads, and the like. For example, my wife and I took our daughter to a birthday party one of our preschool classmates was having, a place called Monkey Joe's. It's a warehouse that has bounce houses in there, it has a concession stand, and it has 4 rooms for parties. And each room is closed off, they have a door, and they have a window they can see out, see the kids playing, and then you can see in. While I was walking by, one was empty, one there was already a party going on, one was ours, and one had about 10 to about 12 parents in there, mom and dad. And I stopped and I called my wife over and I said, "You gotta see this." Even though there was all those adults in there, none of them were talking to each other. They all were looking down into their iPads or their smartphones. And I stood there for a couple minutes. And that was an awakening to visually see what technology is doing. So if they were in the same room and they weren't talking to each other, and these were adults, can you just imagine what effect it is having on our youth? In 2010, it was estimated that 93% of Americans use cell phones. USA Today dubbed that year the year we stopped talking to one another, but I believe it happened a lot sooner than that. According to an industry trade group, from June 2009 to 2010, cell phone subscribers sent a whopping 1.8 trillion text messages. That's a lot, which was up 33% from the prior year. If it increased that much in 1 year, you can just imagine how it's increased since 2010. So if there's no human physical interacting going on, then there's also no face-to-face communication. What's going on today? The only time you're going to get face-to-face communication is when you come to church. Email, texting, and social networks have taken the place of face-to-face communication. It's been stolen by convenience. Studies show that only 7% of communication is based on the written or verbal word, where 93% is based on nonverbal communication, body language. A lot can be said with just body language. This means that we are losing 93% of our communication context when we are online and using our smartphones. And there's also confirmation. If you've never met the person face to face to confirm who they are, how do you know that's the person you're talking to? Well, some might say, well, I video chat with them. Okay, that's fine. But video chatting can also be impersonal. I'm speaking from experience because I talk to my daughter who lives in North Carolina. She's about to be 5 years old. I talk to her almost every night. Most of the time it's with this little application on my phone called Tango. It's a video chat. I can see my daughter. I can talk to her. She can talk to me and see me. However, I can express my love for her. I can tell her that I love her, but I can't show her by giving her a hug. I can say that I miss her, but I can't show her by kissing her goodnight. How can you fully respond emotionally when there is no human interaction? It seems like we're slowly becoming socially desensitized to emotional human interaction. So what are the youth of today missing from this elusive human interaction coupled with face-to-face communication? Well, first is confirmation. Seeing the person they are actually communicating with, and by doing so, would start to develop and build social rapport. They would also gain experience interacting by viewing the expression and body language and context of other people while learning the ability to physically communicate accurately and effectively. In turn, they would be able to perceive others' reactions and interpret their responses more fully. So instead of texting "see you later," they actually will. Unless there are specific classes that these attributes are no longer taught in schools or even by today's parents, it is up to us to keep these basic life lessons alive. Though email, texting, video chatting, and the internet are convenient ways to talk to one another, there's no replacement for the physical fellowship of exchanging words. And remember, Psalms 15:2, "The tongue of the wise commends knowledge, but the mouths of fools pour out folly." Thank you.